it.
And Joe Joyce, by stoppage, is the new British, Commonwealth and European champion. We asked whether that damaged left eye was going to be a decisive factor for Daniel Dubois, and so it proved. Joe Joyce, with the accuracy of the left-hand lead, has bossed this fight in the closing stages. After round 6, he came on strong. We're going to get you a look at that eye. Joyce is the man who has those big opportunities, maybe next year.
It was a must-win for him.
I can't believe
Here, let's mute real quick.
There. The way he went down, obviously, I think it was from a shot where just look at his eyes completely closed. Did he close literally as that shot was landed and he couldn't see out of it and thought, I just can't see my opponent?
I'm in shock.
That must have been the situation there.
I think it was
extraordinary.
I think it was just a left-hand lead.
So there, look, he gets one in the eye.
Like the Brook one.
Now he can't see. He goes down and takes the counter, doesn't get up. But look at it here. It looks like it's closed there. But that was a shot that was banged on the button. That was banged on that eye. And he looks up, doesn't seem to be able to see Joe Joyce, turns away, goes onto the knee. Let's have a look at it again from here, John. It's right on the eye, isn't it, that shot? Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Ian John Lewis.
Let's mute right there real quick. We're here live real time on TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. It was the jab. Even though the follow-up punches were from Joe Joyce were slow as molasses, as they would say here, the Southerners, old school here in the States. Slow, super slow. But the jab, it just was a peppering, constant jab. He couldn't do nothing with it. You know, now Joe Joyce's style is unconventional. Some may call it ugly. Some may like, ew, he's so slow and everything. But Dubois couldn't do nothing with it. Very, very close fight. Very, very difficult rounds to score. And I know people are going to say that Daniel Dubois quit. Look at the state of that eye. Jeez. I'm TstreeT Controversy. Please take your time to like the video. We're going to be here for the post-fight interview. Tonight, after Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones, we're going to talk about this fight more deeply in the post-fight live for Tyson versus Roy Jones, which will likely be a press conference as well. Joe Joyce, 35 years old, now 12-0 with 11 KOs. He was the underdog going into this fight, right? I thought he had a chance because of his come-forward style, but he wasn't necessarily come forward. He was just circling around the ring. He kept it in the middle, you know, defensively. People may say he's slow, but it's effective. It's effective. However, I can see how somebody's going to be able to get to him, you know, because he's slow. You know, you start timing that shit, but with that jab, you know. And it's just like he's just constantly sticking it out there, but it's annoying you, it's creating damage. And as I said, a guy like Dubois at his age, being, what, 22 years old, you know, 23 now, right? Yeah, 23 years old. You know, him taking a loss like this, you know, he still can rebuild. He still has a lot. He's still a baby in the game, just like Hughie Fury. So Hughie Fury is going to be a fucking beast, in my opinion. You know, maybe stylistically, for a lot of fighters as he matures, I still feel that way. Daniel Dubois, I have some issues, you know. I've been had issues. But let's see how he improves from here, where Joe Joyce at his age. Now remember, by the way, Joe Joyce is not going to get a title shot, if he keeps winning, of course, until at least 2022. Late 2022 with the way things are set up. The heavyweight division is top heavy with like a Game of Thrones type, you know, thing going on. For example, the winner between Alexander Povetkin and Dylan White too.
For Joe Joyce. And here is Thomas Triber.
All right. So once again, take your time.
Ladies and
Please
gentlemen,
like the video.
here is
subscribe.
the official time.
Let's listen
36 seconds of round number 10. Our referee in charge, Ian John Lewis, reaches the count of 10. Therefore, your winner by way of count out. And now the new British, Commonwealth, and European heavyweight champion, Joe the Juggernaut Joyce.
Fair play. He came here at 35 and produced the performance of his life. Bitter disappointment for Daniel Dubois. he can perhaps come again. He surely will. But for Joe Joyce, 2021 looks very, very exciting indeed. And here's the moment he said would be his. He said, I'm going to get those belts and I am going to show that I am #1 and that I am better than Daniel Dubois. And that tonight is what he's done.
Happy for him. Hopefully they don't do us dirty over here in the States and let us see the post-fight interview. Sometimes they'll cut it off. You know, you have some weird intermissions because basically over there in the UK, BT Sport is the carrier for Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones, so it's kind of a double event. Like, if this was on free, basically, BT Sport, not pay-per-view, because Mike Tyson Roy Jones is on pay-per-view. But the undercard was, you know. No, I think it was TY. I still think that motherfucking B.Y. Jennings let Joe Joyce off the hook. So I'm guessing we're going to wait for the post-fight interviews from BT Sport. Listen to what they have to say here. Let me mute it, I guess. So yeah, what's next? And it's going to be interesting now that Joe Joyce has won, because he can't take no time like off, you know, like he can't, like, meaning like he's 35 years old. You know who? You know, I was going to say somebody like Bermain Stavern, but he already beat Bermain Stavern. I'm tripping, right? Ugh. And why would I say Bermain Stavern? He needs a name. What the fuck is wrong with me? Maybe it's because I'm still ill. I got the illness. Anyway, moving up the ladder, Charles Martin get an IBF, you know, eliminator. They're still, well, I guess we're waiting for. He just did a little physical with the doctor. You see him down there at the bottom. Kubrat Pulev, if Pulev loses to Joshua, which I think he will, fucking Joe Joyce, Joseph Parker, boom. Can they make that happen? And I'm talking about fights that can be made. Michael Hunter. What's his affiliation? Joe Joyce. Is he still with ring star Richard Schaefer? Is he with Haymaker? Like, what's his political situation? So we're waiting for them to do like an interview. I see them down there at the bottom. Bro, I don't think they're going to give us an interview, bro. Let me hook y'all up real quick. Let me do something. Real quick. Real quick. Let me see if I can get y'all to post-fight. ESPN Plus, man, sometimes pisses me off with that shit. My bad. Let me stop cussing. I'm triggering. I'm pulling up the audio from BT Sport in the background. You might see me lag a little bit, but we are here live real time. This is good. I'm glad this is over so I can take my little nap and get ready for Tyson versus Jones. I see him down there. Then you see, look at the bottom of the screen. This is live. You see them down there right there? So it's like, what the fuck are they doing? You know? So maybe BT is on commercial break? Let's see. I'm pulling it up now, though. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, you know, where the winner does go because, well, now that it's Joe Joyce, because it's like, okay, I think he's about to do his interview. Should have did a jump cut.
You have to call it what it is. Dubois quit, but he's a young kid and he can still come back.
Paul Frampton said that.
Joe can hopefully now go on and fight for a world title.
What a win for him.
It's a beautiful win and puts him in a great position, you know, with the USYK, WBO situation, knocking on the... If there's anybody ready in British boxing for a world title shot after a performance like that, you know, it's Joe Joyce. He did what he said he was going to do, took hard fights, Bermain Stavern, Jennings, all the fighters nobody else wanted to fight. He was willing to do it. In his first fight, he did a 10-rounder against Ian Lewison. That was, you know, Ian Lewison is a dangerous guy, particularly for your first fight. So the conditioning, the tough fights that Joe Joyce had is because he's 35 years of age and now he's ready for that shot.
He done it the right way, Joe did, and there was no preparation from Dubois
Joe Joyce interview
for a Joe Joyce fight to get him ready for
We're
it.
watching both
and he
feeds.
was found out at that
Early
level.
rounds we saw that, didn't we? The way Joe took the centre of the ring, particularly, and asked questions of Daniel Dubois. He's not been asked before.
Yeah, after the first round, I thought that it's going to be a hard night for Dubois, but do you know what? Credit to him, he came back into the fight. I was so surprised. His eye was closed from about round 5 or 6, and to take a knee, it was I don't think he's going to live to regret that.
I saw Dubois learning throughout the fight. From round 3, 4, and 5, I saw him start to learn. I saw him to adapt his punches, he started to loosen off. But it's hard to learn in a fight against someone who just continuously comes at you.
And who never panics if it's going the other way for a while.
Joe Joyce has been hurt before, he's been hit before, but he's confident in his recovery skills.
Joe, I know you won, but I've got to ask Daniel about the ending. What happened, Daniel, in that 10th round? What happened 30 seconds in?
You know, it was, what can I say? He caught me with a good jab, and his jab was pretty accurate. And, you know, I couldn't see out of the eye, and I didn't want, you know, it just happens, man. I can't explain it. It was just, you know, at the moment, and I just pinged it, and, you know, I couldn't see out of it. I was trying my best, and, you know, it happened.
And Joe, what did you think when you saw Daniel back away, touch the eye and take the knee? What thought went through your head?
Well, I was glad it was over.
The both of you, and I've got to congratulate you, because I mean, people will be at home now and they'll be applauding, they'll be watching it back. You've taken part in something incredibly special here tonight. Daniel, you got caught with the very first punch of the fight, a big jab after 5 or 6 seconds, and I saw your body go then. Was that the hardest you've been hit, do you think?
I've been hit hard, you know, but it was position maybe, you know, on the eye and just the way it hit me. But, you know, I'm a tough guy, I'll come again for sure.
And Joe, you had to come through an incredible amount of pressure. The sort of punches that have left men, you know, flashed all over the canvas. You took them. Were you ever in danger? Were you ever hurt?
No, I've taken some big shots, and respect to Daniel, he's got some power, and he's young, he's fresh, and he's hungry, and he could come again. But I've felt power like that before, and with my experience, I've learned to ride it and come back, and I'm blessed with a good chin, so I can keep going and keep moving forward. And I was kind of, you know, I felt his power, and I was happy to take it, if you know what I mean.
I do.
But preferably not take it.
That's the Joyce's, and that's the way you do your business. Daniel, going into the 10th round now, okay, most people seem to have it like this. One judge had you, one judge had Joe, another judge was really tight. How did you have it, Dan? As you got up for the 10th round, your eyes closed, how did you have it?
I didn't know, honestly, I didn't know. I was just fighting. Trying to figure out a way I can break him down and get inside and, you know, let my shots work. But
were you surprised at some of the punches he took? I know Joe says he's got a good chin, but you caught him flush, perfect shots. Round 3, round 6, round 7.
I would say he was flowing with him though, like or leaning.
Well, I was probably a bit trigger happy, but you know, I need to be smarter and just, you know, pace myself and maybe a bit more. It is what it is though. Joe won.
And Joe, it was just a jab. You didn't go chasing him with the right hand or looking for left hooks. You just threw the jab, turned your shoulder, moved away, and avoided him. It was a simple tactic in the end, a good tactic, but a simple one.
Yeah, I felt it landed, and I was mixing it up. And
one second, Joe. Yeah, Dan, you can go. Sorry, Martin. You go and get your eyes seen too. I appreciate it. Frank, can I pull you in? Is that possible? Yeah. Sorry about that, Frank. I've got to interview him, but I don't like doing it.
Frank not happy.
Interview when you win,
and you interview when you lose. So Joe, it was the jab was just working non-stop. And could you sense that in the very first round that the jab was starting to get to him, starting to hurt him?
Yeah, I started looking at that eye, and it was starting to swell up as well, and I felt quite comfortable landing it, and I was moving away from his right hands and trying not to get too close, because if I get close, that's when he's going to let them go. And try not to get backed up on the ropes also, because that's when he lets them go, and I don't want to get hit with any when he lets them go, you know what I mean?
Because they do come across. Frank, it was a brilliant 9 rounds and then a bizarre 36 seconds. At what point in the fight did you think that Daniel could lose, or were you convinced even going into the 10th that he could still win the fight?
The eye was obviously a massive problem. It was coming. You just seen it. You couldn't see out of it. It was what it was. So he was in trouble. Joe, dumb. I said at the beginning of the fight, it's going to be about who gets the jab off. It's a battle of the jabs. Who's ever got the better jab, they're going to control the fight. And you know, it was. I thought it was pretty even, the fight. There was nothing in it. But at the end of the day, couldn't see out the eye, and Joe did what he had to do. He's strong, he used he's smart, and he come for it.
Now you spoke in private to Daniel there. What did he mention to you? Because it looked to me that he was in terrible pain when he went down.
He said he got something, I don't know, like felt like it was a nerve or something. He said it shot for him, and that was what it was.
Yeah, and that's what it looked like. So we've got to throw it forward. Where does Big Joe go now?
Well, he's in the driving seat, isn't he? That's where he goes now, and he goes for a big 2021.
Usyk, I'm ready for you, Usyk.
A rematch with Alexander Usyk. It's taking time to sink in here. I mean, people were quite stunned, not just at how well you boxed, Joe, but at the ending when he went down. Were you a bit shocked when when Daniel backed away and went down on his knee?
Yeah, I couldn't see quite what happened. He's obviously in a lot of pain to have done that. It wasn't like it was, I don't mean to be great respect, it wasn't like a shot knocked him down. You know, he suddenly he clipped him with a jab, and obviously that done something to the eye.
And Frank, with Daniel, I know I should be asking this question next week or in 2 weeks' time, and because his eye's like that, he'll be at the hospital being examined. But thinking fast forward in your head, which you do, 1 or 2 fights back?
Of course he's got to have, of course he's, you know, if he wants to carry on, of course he's got to, and he will carry on. He's a young man. I mean, Joe, what was you doing at his age?
I didn't even. I just about started boxing. I still at
there
uni,
you go,
so
and you think, and Anthony Joshua at his age wasn't even a pro, so it's something he'll learn from. But obviously, you know, your handicap is what it is. But listen, if he never had the eye, I'm sure Joe's not complaining about it. But the eye, who knows how it would have ended? It was getting very interesting, the fight, wasn't it? But it is what it is. You know, a prime example is David Hay.
Yeah.
You know,
David's
Carl
mentioned
Thompson.
that already.
What happened with him? He came back and won a title. Bradus Prescott. We all thought he'd finished Amir Khan completely. He came back. It's happened to numerous fights. Now it's a sign of what you are. Yeah. You know, what you're all about, to come back. Can you come back? I would think he can, but we'll see.
And the public will want to see him come back, and they'll want to see him tested after that.
I'll tell you what would be great is a rematch.
Joe is talking a rematch.
With all the crowd there. I mean, can you imagine if the crowd had been there tonight? There would have been jumping the place, wouldn't it?
Much more fun.
And it would have been a much.
It would have been much more fun. Joe, thank you very much. Congratulations, Frank. Thanks very much. Thanks so much for persevering with a fight that we thought had to be dead in the water. Had to be dead in the water. You just kept on bringing it back.
Well, it's there, and we've done it. Well, you done it.
Yeah.
Well done.
You certainly did.
Man.
Joe, Joyce, Frank Warren, Daniel Dubois. Well, that's it, Paul. That's the story of the fight.
Well, all right. He says he wants Usyk. I don't think he's going to get Usyk, guys. You know, Usyk is in a very good situation right now, being mandatory for Anthony Joshua, Kubrat Pulev winner. I don't think he's going to get him. You know, it's going to be interesting to see where Joe Joyce goes from here. Congrats. Daniel Dubois bent the knee, but he's still young, you know, but he's going to have to deal with a lot because people are going to call him a quitter. That's just how the boxing world works, especially on social media. They're not kind. Let me get up out of here, get ready for this other card, TstreeT Controversy, Fight View 360. Take your time out, like the video, and see you guys later on.